Hello everyone. So I'm gonna discussing about drainage and slope protection structures. So I'm Ivan J. Bisumagang will be your reporter for today. Pipe culverts and storm drains. First, let's define what is culverts. So culverts is defined as a tunnel. So it used to cross drainage or to take electrical or other cables from one side to other. So culverts is used to pass water or electric cables to other side. Next is the storm drains. Storm drains is the infrastructure designed to drain excess rain and groundwater from impervious surface. So uses of storm drain is to drain water through sewer and makita na siya sa mga paved street, cars parks, parking lots, footpaths, sidewalks, and roofs. So this is the picture of the culverts and this is the picture of the storm drain. So needed. So this is the materials needed to construct pipe culverts and storm drains. So there are many types of construction requirements. So first is the trenches excavation. So trenches shall be excavated in according to the requirement of the item 103 or the structure excavation to the width surface to allow for a proper jointing of the conduct and through compaction of the bedding and backfill materials under and around the conduct. So next is the bedding. So bedding is a material placed in the bottom of the trench on which pipe is laid. So beddings, kani siya ang una ginabutang before butang ang pipe. So for flexible pipe, if you use flexible pipe, there are we should follow pipe calculation depth and the minimum building bedding depth. So for example, if we use 10 millimeters pipe calculation depth, so we should use minimum bedding depth of 25 millimeters. So this is the picture of the trenches excavation. So magbangag lang siya to put the pipe. Then this is the bedding. So before I put ang pipe, so we use other materials to put in the ground before we put the pipe. Laying conduct. The conduct laying shall be begin in a downstream and the conduct line. The lower the segment of the conduct shall be in a contact with the shape bedding throughout its full length. Bell grooves and of the rigid conduct and the outside circumferential laps of the flexible conduct shall be placed facing upstream. So next is the joint conduct. So in this requirement, so the pipe should be joined, should be joined. Rigid conduct may either be or bell and the spigot of the tank and groove design unless other type is specified. The method of jointing conduct section shall be such as the end and are the fully interned and the inner surface are to be flush and even. So next is the field strutting. So when required by the plans, vertical diameter of a round flexible conduct shall be increased in 5% by the shaft elongation or the mean of the jaw shall applied after the entire line of conduct has been installed of the bedding but before the backfilling. So this is the example of the laying conduct and the jointing conduct. So this is the field strutting. Ang yellow kanang yellow. Pinabutang na siya before after the excavation. So next is the backfilling. So it is common to us what is backfilling. So materials for backfilling on each side of the conduct for the full trench with an elevation of the 300 millimeters above the top conduct shall be fine, readily compact soil or the granular materials from the excavation of forum source of a choice shall not contain stone that will be retained on a 50 millimeter sieve, chunk highly plastic clay, or the other objection materials. So not so far. So next is the imperfect trench. So imperfect trench. For the word imperfect, so it's not perfect. So if the trench is not imperfect, you should do this. Under this method, for the rigid conduct, the embankment shall be complete and described in the subsection of 500 3.6 backfilling to the height above the conduct equal to the vertical outside diameter of the conduct plus 300 millimeter. A trench equal in width to the outside horizontal diameter of the conduct in the length shows in the plans or as direct by the engineer shall be excavated to within 300 millimeters of the top of the conduct. Trench walls being is as nearly vertical as possible. So trench walls should be vertical, not horizontal. To para dili ang yuta na mo adto siya sa trench. So picture of the backfilling. So it is common for us. What is backfilling? So next is the method of measurement. So conduct of the different types and size, both new and relayed, well measured by the linear meter in place. Conduct with a slope and or square end will be measured along the invert. Each section will be measured by the number of the units installed. Branch connection and elbow will include in the length measurement for conduct or they may measured by the number of units installed. When the bid schedule contains estimated quantity for furnishing and placing backfilling material, the pipe convert. So this is the bill bidding prices. So first, measure shall be include backfilling material in the trench up to the top of the original ground line but will include any material placed outside of vertical planes 400 mm up outside the parallel to inside the wall pipe this widest horizontal dimension. So second, when the original ground lies in less than 300 millimeter above the top of the pipe. The measure will always include the placing of the backfilling materials above on the horizontal ground line adjacent to the pipe at the height of 300 millimeters above the pipe. So next is the measurement shall be include by placing of backfilling material in the trenches of the imperfect trench method material re-excavated for an imperfect trench construction will be measured for a payment under item 103 or the structure excavation. So basis of payment. So dire makita if if what unit of the item should be used. So a road surface. So or the pavement. So pavement. always natin siya makita sa beside sidewalks, syempre in the road, we should we should see pavement. Is is the durable surface material laid down in the area intended to sustain vehicular or foot traffic, such as the road or walkway? So the accepted quantities of conduct determined as a proven section 500.4 are the method of requirements. So this is the unit price per first for the kind and size specified complete in the place. So this is the chart. If example, if the pipe culverts, if millimeter, so the unit measured is the linear meter, so on and so forth. So this is the example of the pavement. So it is common for us. What is pavement? Next is the under drains. Under drains, or what we know is drainage system for moving and standing water like a storm runoff and irrigation water. So under drains is used to remove water or the excess water from the road. Example, if the rain is heavy and there is a lot of water, so under drains is used to remove that water. So this is the example of the under drains. So kadalasan makita ito na siya sa mga path, sidewalks to para na siya na dili magbilin ang mga tubig or it can cause flooding. So it use under drains to para dili malikayan na to ang flood. So what are the materials needed? So this is the materials needed to construct under drain. Next is there are many types of construction materials. So first is the pipe installation. So trenches shall be excavated the dimension and grade required by the plans or the direct engineer. So yes, we should follow what is the instruction of the engineer of the dimension should of the dimension needed to construct that kind that under drain. Next is the under drain outlets. Trenches for under drain outlets shall be excavated to the width and depth shown in the plan or as otherwise directed. Pipe Pipes shall be laid in the trench with all ends firmly joined by the applicable methods and means. So we should check the pipes if it's firmly joined because if it's not, so the pipe is leak. Next is the blind drain. Trenches for the blind drain shall be excavated to the width and depth shown on the plans. The trench shall be filled with the regular backfill materials to the depth required by the plants, and remaining outer portion of the trench shall be filled whether it's granular or impervious material in accordance with the item 103 or the excavation. So there are methods of measurement. Under drains in the outlet shall be measured by the linear meter for the pipe shall be size specified. So blind drains shall be measured by the linear meter including all the excavation and backfill materials required. Granular backfill materials with the specific in the contract as a pay item shall be measured in the place of the cubic meter complete and the accepted gross sectional measurement will not exceed the net dimension shown in the plan or as the direct of the engineer. So this is an example of the under drains. So from the word under, so under the soil. So next is the basis of pavement. So basis of pavement should ba ano